Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well and safe at your places. So, students, in this class, we'll be starting with a new chapter of geography for your class 8. So, before starting with the chapter, firstly, I would like to ask you some questions. So, you have to answer those questions and then we will proceed with the topic. Okay. So, first, here, as you have observed and as you have studied in your previous classes also about the different kinds of resources. So first tell me what different kind of resources we have with us. Yes. Yes. So firstly we have the natural resources. And what else? And secondly we have what kind of resources? Yes, very good. So we have man-made resources. And what else? Yes, we have human resources. So now student tell me, like if I wanted to convert any natural thing into a useful thing, then which out of these three resources, which resources is the most important resource and why? Yes, student. Suppose this is one natural thing. Imagine any natural thing here and you wanted to convert it into a useful thing. So which resource will be mostly useful here? Yes. So very good students. So it's a human resources because with the help of their knowledge, with the help of their idea and skill, we are able to convert the natural resources into a useful things. So it is the knowledge and the capabilities of human beings that we can use different resources which we are able to extract from the natural resources and then convert it into a useful thing. So human resources are the most important resources here. So in today's class, we'll be continuing, we'll be studying about the human resources, where we will see that what are human resources and which persons are considered as human resources. And then we will also discuss about the distribution of human resources and then the density of population. Okay. So these three topics we'll be covering in today's class. So now moving forward. So now student, imagine. So you have to just imagine like this. So suppose we have a place where we have all the things available, like we have good fertile of soil, we have good climate, we have wind energy there situated there. We have everything like trees are there, cleanliness is there, everything is there available on the that piece of land, but no or the none of the human beings are living there on the land. So what will happen to such kind of a land? So what do you think? Yes. Yes, very good student. So that land will be like, it is a useful land and it is a peaceful. We can know that. So this land will be developed because human beings cannot create pollution to that land and human beings cannot do anything with that land. But if we talk about the development, so like we have all the resources available in that land, but the land will not or the place will not develop because we are not converting the natural resources into a useful resources so that the area can be developed into a more developed place. So if human beings are not in that particular land, then that land will be become or that land will remain same in the future year also. So the land will not develop as per the demands of the people and as per the demand that is required by the society. So that place will be at one point of time, that place will become under the underdeveloped place. So human beings are very important, or the human beings are the most important resource of a country, so that can develop any country at any place. Okay. So now talking about the human resources. So human resources, it is the people with their demands and abilities that turn them into a resources. So human beings who are having like human beings are having their demands, and then to fulfill that demands, human beings convert different natural resources into useful things. So this ability of converting the natural resources into a useful thing, that ability will make one person or make people as a resource. because we are having a capacity that we can able to change any natural thing into a resource. That is why it is known as a human beings are known as a resource. Then human beings are the ultimate source of nature, ultimate resource. As we all know that human beings are considered as the ultimate source, because in every country, if we are having a good quality of human beings who are having a good skill, who are having a proper knowledge about everything, so that country will be developed in a very fast way or in a very speedy way, because human resources are the resources which will help in the development of the country, because human beings have the capacity and they are having the knowledge that they can do wonders in if they wanted to do, like if they wanted to develop any country. So human resources is the ultimate source. Okay. So now, which person are included or which person can be considered as a resource? So healthy, educated, and motivated people develop resource as per their requirements. So the healthy person, educated person, and the motivated person, so these three qualities will make any human beings as a resource, because healthy person can think in a positive manner and he can think about different ideas and knowledge. And then educated person knows that he is having the proper knowledge that how to do this thing, and he is having the proper skill. And motivated person, like the person who wanted to do for their country, or who wanted to develop different resources. So the three qualities in any people will make them as a resource. Okay, so these three qualities will be must in a one person if we are considering them as a resource. Now, human beings are not equally distributed over the earth. Just like other resources, human beings are also not equally distributed over the earth. So we know that at some places we are having more educated people, but at other place we are having less educated people. And as per the natural and other resources available in that particular area, human beings are also, they are living like they are distributed unequally over the earth's surface. Now, human resources, they differ in their educational level, age, and sex. As we know that we are having the individual difference avails in the human resources. So, human resources, they are differ in their educational level, like how much education the person is having is different from the person who's having the less education. So, their education, sex, age, and sex. So, in these three matters, they are differing from each other. Okay, so their numbers and characteristics also keep changing. So human beings, as we know that as the population increases, the number of human resources are also increasing, and it is changing with the passing years. And their characteristics are also changes, because as one person who is uneducated today, it might possible that he is becoming educated and skilled person on the other day. So, with the passage of time, the number of human resources and the skill or the characteristics of human resources, these four things are changing with the passage of time. So, now, student, this is what the features of human resources. So, now tell me, as we have discussed that human resources are the ultimate resource, then as a government, how would you develop human resources of your country? Yes, yes. So, we can give them proper education. Yes, one thing is this, that we can give them proper education. What else? We can provide them different training. Yes, training is there. Yes, we can give them proper training so that they know that how to do work. We can develop their skills also. Yes, very good. So skill development should be there, because this is the most important thing. Yes. Apart from this, what else we can do? Yes, we can also, like we can start different schemes also, where we are giving them proper education, or we are giving different things so that the human resources will be developed. So these are the different things that we can do in order to develop human resources of a country. So now moving forward, here is one question for you. So choose odd one out. So high altitude areas, plains, high mountainous or equatorial forest areas. So which one is odd here? Yes, so plain area is odd here because in plain area we are having a high number of human resources, whereas in high altitude area, in high mountain and equatorial forest area, so we are having the less number of human resources available in this area. Okay, so in plain area we are having a high number of people living there. So now moving forward, here is one more question for you. So human resources are not equally distributed over the world. So this statement is true or false? Yes, so this statement is true, as we know that human resources are not equally distributed over the Earth's surface because it is unequally distributed over the Earth's surface. So here it is true. So now student, here I have one picture for you. So observe this picture and tell me what will you able to depict from this picture. Yes, student. Yes, so it's a distribution of population, like how population is distributed into different continents, like of every 100 people in the world. So tell me, in which continent people are living mostly, in which continent? Yes, it's in Asia. So in Asia we are having the large number of people living in Asia. So, and in which continent people or the we are having less number of people living in which continent? Yes. So in Australia, New Zealand and Pacific Islands, so we are having a very less number of people living in this area. So this is how the people distributed over the Earth's surface. So we will see that what is distribution of population and how people distributed over the Earth's surface. So the way in which people are spread across the Earth's surface is known as pattern of population distribution. So the people, like the way people are distributed over the Earth's surface, like one area is having high population, whereas the other area is having the less population. So how the people are spread over the Earth's surface, so that thing will be known as pattern of population distribution. So how the population is distributed into different areas, in what pattern? So that will be called as distribution of population or pattern of population distribution. So more than 90% of the world population lives in about 30% of land surface. So as we know that 70% of our earth is covered with water, we have only 30% of land. So on that 30%, more than 90% of the population is living in the 30%. Like we have population, more than 90% of population is living in the 30% of the land area. So we can see that we are having a very less land, but the number of population is very high. So now population is unevenly distributed, as we know that there are certain factors due to which we have an uneven distribution of population. So the crowded areas that we have with us is, so crowded areas, so South and Southeast Asia, Europe and Northeastern America. So these are the areas where there are number of people, large number of people living in these areas. But we have very few people who lives in high altitude areas, tropical desert and high mountain area of the equatorial region or the equatorial forest region. So this is the area where we have less number of people living in this area. But whereas we have certain areas where there are large number of people who are living in these areas. So now moving forward. So now as we know that the distribution of population is uneven. So now you have to tell me what are the factors that are responsible for the uneven distribution of population. Like what do you think? What different factors are responsible for this? Yes. So the first one is the availability of resources. So we know that at some places we are having resources available in large quantity, So in those places, people wanted to live in those places where we have a large or the good availability of resources. But as on the other side, the places where we have a scarcity of resources or where we have less number of resources, so that area will having a less population or less human resources. So apart from this, the topography of the topography of the land, it is also affected the distribution of population. Like we have seen that in plain area, people are mostly living in plain area because in plain area, all the facilities are available there. Like roads are constructed there. We can use it for agriculture. We can use it for establishing industries. So in plain area, people like they wanted to live in plain area. But whereas on the other side, we have mountain areas, desert areas. So here the population are very less because these are not suitable for the population to live in those areas. So that is why the population in these areas are less as compared to the plain area. And apart from this, what do you think? What other factors are responsible for the distribution of population, uneven distribution of population? Yes, social and cultural factor. Yes, so people like they are social culture, social factor, we can say that. So people wanted to prefer living in those areas where we have a peaceful environment, because uh, if we have one place where people are mostly like they are indulged into wars or they are indulged into fight, so people they do not wanted to settle in these areas, so because they need a peaceful environment in their surroundings. So that is why the social condition of those places which are having peace and which are having good environment, so people wanted to settle in those areas as compared to the areas where we have less like peaceful environment. Then apart from this, the other factors like the facilities that is being provided by the place, so that will also affect the uneven distribution of population, like the hospitals, what kind of hospitals, what kind of other facilities are giving in that place. So according to that, people wanted to live in those areas where we have good facilities are available, but we have scarcity of population in those areas where we have less facilities are being given. So we can say that there is uneven distribution of population due to different factors like resources, topography, social factor, and facilities available. So apart from this, also there are many more factors which are responsible for the uneven distribution of population. So you can write your answers in the chat box also, like what other factors are responsible for this. Now moving forward, here is one question for you. So more than 90% of the world population lives in about land surface. So how many how many percentage of land is available with us? Yes, very good. So it's a 30%. So here the answer will be B. Now moving forward. So now here we have two friends. They are talking with each other. So I will be narrating like what they are talking about. So there is one student whose name is Rohan. So he is telling, when all the 30 students are present, our classroom seems very crowded. But when the same class is seated in the school assembly hall, it seems so open and empty. Why is it so? Then on the other side we have Neetu. So she replied that because the size or area of the hall is much larger than that of the classroom. However, when all the students of the school come into the hall too starts looking crowded. So now student, tell me what will you able to depict from this conversation? Like what do you think, for which thing they are talking about? Yes. So student, here they are talking about the population density, because they are saying that as the size of the place changes, so the volume of the people or the density of the people also changes. So if we are having a big space and less number of people, so it seems that the people are less, like they are so they are the place is not that much crowded. But whereas if we are having a small if we are having a small land piece of land and we are having a large number of people, then we can say that those area are very much crowded area. So they are here talking about the density of population. So density of population means the number of people living in a unit area of the earth's surface. So suppose this is a area. So in this unit area, the number of people who are living in this area. So that will be known as the population density. So population density is normally expressed by unit as expressed by per unit square kilometer. So if the square kilometer area, so area of this square, so the number of people who are living in this square, that will be considered as population density. So the average density of the population in the whole world is 51% per square kilometer. So on an average, the people for in one square kilometer, 51% are living in one square kilometer. So this is the population density of world. So South Central Asia has the highest density of population, followed by the East and Southeast Asia. So South Central Asia is the Asia is the those part where India is also located. So South Central Asia is having the highest density of population. Like here we have very much dense population is living here because we have the large population, and followed by the East and the Southeast Asia. So these are the area where we are having the highest density of population. So if we talk about India specifically, so average density of population in India is 382 per person square kilometer. So suppose this is a square. So in one square kilometer, we are having 382 person living in this so in one square kilometer. So now you have to tell me, what do you think, how this high density of population of India affected the economy or affected the development of the country? So what problems they are facing because of this high density of population in India? Yes. Yes, so very good students. So the first thing is that we are having the like there is an increase in slum areas because here the population are increasing. The people living in one square kilometer is increasing, due to which the person or the people who wanted to live here, they are not having the proper land to live, due to which the increase slum area is increases. Then apart from this, if we talk about poverty is also increasing because of the high density of population in India. And then it also affects the quality, like the quality of life who are living in this area. So very good students, it also affects the quality of life of people. Then what else? Yes, so it also affected. Yes, so unemployment is also increasing because population is increasing and we are not having the proper job opportunities to offer to the people. So unemployment is also increasing, and then we are putting a lot of pressure on the natural resources. So there is a scarcity of natural resources. So this is how the highest density. So this is how the high density of population in India is affecting the development of India, and what problems India is facing due to this 382 per person square kilometer highest density in India. So now moving forward, here we have one question for you. So the average density of world population is dash person per square kilometer. So what will be the answer here? Yes, very good. So it is 51 person per square kilometer. Now moving forward, so now students, let's quickly summarize what we have discussed. So in today's class, we started with the meaning of human resources and features of human resources. And then we talk about that how human resources are distributed over the earth's surface. And then we talk about the density of population, like how much density is there in India and what is the average density of population in the world. So now here I have certain questions for you. So you have to answer this question one by one. So the first one is describe any two features of human resources. Yes, yes, very good student. So human resources, firstly, they are unevenly distributed over the earth's surface, and human resources are the ultimate source of energy. Yes, very good students. And yes, apart from this, a healthy, educated, and motivated person can only be considered as a human resource. So now, second question is you have to briefly explain the distribution of population continent-wise. Yes, yes. So we can say that population is unevenly distributed continent-wise. Like in Asia, we are having the highest population, whereas in Antarctica we are having, or in Australia we are having a very less population. So Asia is the most populous continent of the world. So now South Central Asia has the highest density of population. Is this statement true or false? Yes, very good students. So this statement is true. Now the last question for today's class is the way in which people are spread across the earth's surface is known as dash. So what we call this term? Yes, so it is known as pattern of population distribution. Now student, note down your homework in your class, or you can take the screenshot of this also, or you can write it down in your notebooks also. So observe this graph and locate the following countries on the map of the world, and also write how many countries are in Asia. So this is a map which shows the population distribution. You have to locate these countries on the map, and then you have to write like which countries or how many countries are there from the Asia. So now second question is make a list of states that is having high and low population density in India. So this is your home assignment. Complete this home assignment and send me on my email ID. Or you can also send me in the WhatsApp group of our class. So that's all from my side, students. So we shall meet in the next class. Thank you very much, students.